I went around telling everyone I was divorced with 2 kids. Then a beautiful woman sat right down after hearing that. Perfect. I can't have children. The room fell completely silent. The handsome men and beautiful women who'd been ready to make a move all shook their heads and sighed. No wonder these 2 good-looking people had ended up at a matchmaking event. They really did have issues. The beautiful woman handed me a business card. I hesitated. I own a house and a car. I should still be able to afford to raise a child. Was she desperate to find a child to inherit her fortune? I quickly said, both children have to keep my surname. It can't be changed. If my brother found out I came to a blind date and practically sold off his boy and girl twins, he'd beat me to death. Fine, she agreed without hesitation. I was only here to get my mother off my back. Are you seriously considering this? I said sincerely. You have a lot going for you. I don't think I'm good enough for you. Then I took out a photo with my nephew and niece. I showed it to her. She smiled. She understood what I meant. She stood and politely excused herself. After that, neither of us got picked. We were eliminated, then endured 3 days of nagging from our families. I finally flew back to work. I'd never been so eager to get back to the daily grind. The director quietly instructed me. Lou, this partnership is very important to us. We're counting on you. Keep them happy. Our all-important client. Then your promotion and raise are within reach. I nodded repeatedly. For the director to make such a big production of it, it had to be an incredibly powerful client we couldn't afford to offend. When I heard approaching footsteps, I quickly stood at attention. I put on a sharp yet sincere professional smile. Then I saw a familiar face. Muqing. My blind date had become my client. She clearly noticed me too. After briefly exchanging pleasantries with the director, she gave me a faint smile. How have the children been lately? How had I never realized before that Muqing was so good with words? Anyone unaware of the truth would think we were close. The kids are at home. They're doing well. Seeing the baffled looks from the director and the others, I gave them a professional fake smile. The moment I said that, I regretted it. Why did that sound even more like there was something between us? Muqing seemed completely oblivious to the countless gossipy stares around us. That's good. What does it have to do with you whether they're well or not? They're my brother's children. Mr. Liu. Muqing called to me. I hurriedly answered. Ms. Su. I heard you were chiefly responsible for this proposal. I smiled modestly. This is the result of everyone's hard work. The director quickly chimed in with praise. Ms. Su, our Liu is exceptionally capable, especially when it comes to design. He's outstanding. Muqing nodded. Her thin lips curved faintly. He is quite impressive. How should I put it? Muqing was still so young, yet she'd already reached this position. There was clearly a reason for it. At least, she was a master at praising people and making them feel valued. But I soon discovered, a demanding client was still a demanding client. Because of the demands Muqing made for the proposal, I knew I wouldn't be sleeping tonight. As we saw them out, the director specifically picked me. Lou, go see Ms. Su out. Thinking of my suddenly increased workload, I really couldn't force a smile. Not even when facing a beautiful woman. Muqing's secretary had gone to get the car. Muqing and I stood a step apart. The sudden silence made things a little awkward. She was the one paying the bills, after all. I cleared my throat and broke the silence. Muqing looked at me, her brow slightly furrowed. Ms. Su, have you been well lately? I've been fine. But you don't look so well. How could I be well? Think about it. What did you put me through in that meeting room? Before I could say anything, Muqing seemed to realize something else. Being a single father is hard. I sincerely felt that Muqing and I were never on the same wavelength. We could never get on the same page. Your co-workers don't seem to know about the children. In my mind, I stabbed the director. That's right. The fact that I used a photo with my nephew and niece to bluff people at the matchmaking event was something they truly didn't know about. But things had gone this far, so I had no choice but to explain. My parents usually look after them. The old couple spends all day taking the kids out, and they never miss a chance to rub it in. Muqing nodded. I understand. It really isn't easy for a man to raise 2 children. I was surprised that she could say something like that. I couldn't help turning to look at her again. Her only flaw was that she couldn't have children. Otherwise, Countless men would be lining up for her. What a shame. What a shame. For a moment, I actually felt that Muqing seemed so lonely it made my heart ache. But that sympathy vanished the moment I saw that Porsche slowly pull up. It ended abruptly. I was just a miserable, working stiff. I should save my pity for myself. As she was about to get in, Muqing suddenly turned back. I'll leave the remaining revisions to you. We'll talk by phone. Naturally, all I could do was smile and agree. Of course, Ms. Su. Muqing said her contact information was on the card from our blind date. My smile became even brighter. Who keeps the card of a blind date that went nowhere? Because of that one remark from Muqing, I searched through all my clothes again in the middle of the night. At last, I found that crumpled business card. Staring at Muqing's name on it, I sighed, then sent her a friend request anyway. After I worked overtime for a solid week, Muqing finally gave her approval. The director looked at me with pure sympathy. Lu, I thought there might be something between you and Ms. Su. Turns out I was too quick to assume, far too quick. The rumors say Ms. Su hates men. Looks like they're true. Even our handsome Lu has been run ragged by her. I hesitated for a second. Then, director. What about my bonus? The director waved a hand grandly. Don't worry. Whatever else can be said about Ms. Su, she's truly generous with money. That cheered me right up. In my mind, I quietly raised my opinion of Muqing a little. After all, she'd been upfront at the blind date, and honest about her terms. That day, both sides held a dinner meeting. Holding my glass, I calculated the bonus I would earn if we landed this deal. Muqing suddenly seemed far more pleasing to the eye. The director suddenly looked surprised, then hurriedly waved me over. Oh, Ms. Su used to attend 3rd middle school too. So, did Lu. Lu, why have you never mentioned it? I was stunned too. I instinctively looked up at Muqing. This city isn't exactly small. It never occurred to me we might have gone to the same school. I chose my words carefully. Ms. Su and I probably weren't in the same year. Otherwise, with a face like yours, there's no way I wouldn't remember you. Muqing quietly watched me, then suddenly smiled. I only studied there for 1 semester. Then I transferred schools. It's normal that you don't remember me. Only then did I understand. I smiled to smooth things over. I see. No wonder. Then, Ms. Su, I guess we're fated to cross paths. Muqing rotated the glass in her hand. With an unreadable half-smile, she replied. Who could argue with that? By the time dinner ended, it was already 10 at night. We had just reached the ground floor lobby, when we saw a table of drunk people brawling. In the chaos, a beer bottle flew straight toward me. Lu Chen. Lu, are you hurt? I'm fine. Ms. Su. Good, you're not hurt. I'd only just managed to finish this project. I wasn't about to let anyone hurt my generous client. Besides, Muqing wasn't in the best health. If she'd actually been hit by that bottle, who knew how bad things could have gotten? Muqing simply looked at me. After the commotion, her eyes seemed clearer than ever. The restaurant manager rushed over to apologize. The drunken troublemakers were completely dumbfounded, standing there at a loss. Muqing said, Let's settle this privately. As she spoke, she suddenly lifted my hand. Only then did I notice a faint bloody scratch on my index finger from a splintered chair. It was so slight that I hadn't noticed it myself. I couldn't believe she'd noticed something so small. I happily accepted their compensation. Then Muqing said, I'll take you home. The director and the others exchanged knowing looks and smiled as they watched us get in the car. Outside a pharmacy, Muqing returned with a pack of adhesive bandages. Give me your hand. I obediently held out my hand, unable to resist teasing her. You're too kind, Ms. Su. If you waited any longer, this cut might have healed on its own. Muqing didn't respond. She focused on putting the bandage on me. The car's interior was dimly lit, softening her features far more than usual. When her fingertips accidentally brushed my skin, a faint itch slipped through the spaces between my fingers. My breathing immediately fell out of rhythm. Once she had applied the bandage, she slowly lifted her eyes. We were so close. I could smell the faint fragrance in her hair. My Adam's apple bobbed. My breathing grew quicker without my meaning to. I'm really, Really fine. I know. Just those words were like a pebble dropped into my heart, sending ring after ring of ripples that lingered. I abruptly shook off her hand. In that second, my heart raced out of control. Loud as thunder. This woman was absolutely lethal. Muqing, however, looked completely unfazed. She just drove noticeably slower, all the way back to my apartment complex. When I got out, I didn't dare turn back. I was afraid she'd see how red my ears had become. The moment I stepped inside, my roommate, Liu Yi, came over like a dog that smelled meat. He crowded close. His eyes gleamed greedily. Holy crap, a Porsche. Lu Chen, not bad. Which rich older woman is keeping you? Hook me up. I shoved his face away. My gaze fell on the bandage on the back of my hand. It was bright yellow. SpongeBob. The contrast was strangely adorable. In my mind, I kept replaying the moment she lowered her head, her profile so gentle. I raised my hand to peel it off, but froze halfway. Forget it. SpongeBob was innocent. I coughed awkwardly. I could not bring myself to throw it away. Carefully, I smoothed it flat. The project was wrapped up. My pay came through. Looking at that delightful string of numbers in my bank account, I decided that aside from being aloof, Muqing was practically glowing from head to toe. Out of courtesy, I sent her a closing message. Ms. Su, thank you for looking out for me. I look forward to working together again. I thought the message would vanish into the void, but she replied instantly. You are welcome. You earned it. I held my phone in both hands, my smile spreading wildly. This woman might be cold, but she really did have excellent taste. Before I could finish celebrating, I still have not properly thanked you for what happened last time. Are you free this Saturday? I would like to take you out for dinner. My heart skipped a beat. Dinner. Just the two of us. Lu Chen. Who are you talking to? Why are you grinning like that? My brother, Liu Yi, walked in with two little monsters in tow. Uncle, pick us up. The two little dumplings immediately pounced on me. I had just picked them both up when my big-mouthed brother yelled toward the kitchen. Dad. Mom. Great news. Your hopelessly single son has finally found someone. A spatula clattered to the floor in the kitchen. The next second, my parents rushed out, their eyes shining. Who is she? Whose daughter? How old is she? When are you bringing her home? I was about to deny it, when Liu Yi added, begging to be punched. Come on, confess. Otherwise, I will introduce you to that guy's sister from last time. Ha ha ha. She is waiting for you. You know. In a rush of impulse, I blurted out. No need. I already have someone. We met at that matchmaking event last time. After all, when Muqing and I discussed money, it really did feel a lot like a blind date. My parents nearly cried with joy. Only Liu Yi looked skeptical. Seriously? With your picky standards, you found someone? I straightened up. Then I started making things up. Of course, she is beautiful, wealthy, and from a good family. She is sweet and gentle too. Most importantly, she really likes me. The moment I finished speaking, my phone chimed. Everyone's eyes immediately fixed on my phone. I opened the message. Muqing had sent a picture. It showed the Disney VIP guided tour tickets. A voice message followed. The weather should be nice on Saturday. I thought you might want to bring the little ones along. The room went silent for 3 seconds. My brother Liu Yi stared at the 2 VIP tickets. His amused expression instantly vanished. It was replaced by the reverence of someone finding legendary loot. He grabbed my shoulders. Holy crap, Lu Chen. She is no blind date. She is clearly straight out of Delta Force, a top-tier female operative. Before I could process that, this idiot leaned toward my phone screen and shouted without a shred of dignity. Ask her if she needs a grown-up son. This kind of incredible fortune. I have to get in on it. I looked at the screen and could no longer suppress my smile. I want to go. I want to go. The 2 little dumplings cried in their sweet childish voices. I was instantly speechless. Though I hated to admit it, I really felt that. Muqing liked me because I came with 2 kids. Taking me to dinner was just an excuse. She really wanted to see my kids, right? I stared at the 2 colorful tickets. Then I realized something profound. Muqing might possibly, perhaps, really want a child. I looked at my brother. Would you mind letting me adopt Tianchen and Wenwen? My brother. Get lost. Mio. What a pity. Muqing really was loaded. There went their perfect chance to inherit a fortune. I could only reluctantly say the kids could not come. They happen to have extracurricular classes this week, so they probably cannot make it. Thank you for the invitation, Miss Su. After a while, Muqing replied. No problem. I stared at those words on my screen. My palms starting to sweat. Just the two of us can go. Before I could agonize over it, Muqing sent another message. Come downstairs in half an hour. Under orders from my client, I did not dare refuse. I deliberately changed into a youthful-looking white hoodie, trying to narrow the age gap between me and this formidable female CEO. We never made it to Disney, but I never imagined Muqing, the woman who ought to be ringing the opening bell at NASDAQ, would park her Porsche outside a noisy arcade. Muqing was not wearing business attire today. She had changed into a cream knit maxi dress, with an oversized denim jacket over it. Her usually sharp presence softened at once. She looked like a campus beauty fresh out of school, but the moment she entered, she looked completely out of place. She stood between the deafening dance and racing machines, watching their flashing lights, with a hint of confusion in her eyes. My family was strict when I was little. It was either advanced math tutoring or piano lessons. I had never been anywhere like this. Muqing walked up to the token machine and scanned a code to buy a whole basket of tokens. She handed half of the heavy load to me. Her eyes sparkled. Teach me. Looking at her expression that said, I do not understand, but I want to learn it for you. My damned masculine urge to protect her surged at once. No problem. Ms. Su, stick with me today. I will show you the ropes. Our first stop was the 2-player motorcycle game. Just sit here. The throttle is here. Lean with the bike. I climbed onto the bike beside hers, demonstrating as I looked back at her. Chen, want to make a bet? What kind of bet? The loser has to grant the winner one request. No conditions attached. Ms. Su, do not cry when you lose. 3 minutes later, I stared at the huge word loss on the screen and fell into deep thought. Chen, it seems your racing skills are not as good as mine. I was letting you win. A bet is a bet. I will save that request for later. Her warm breath brushed my ear. Half my body went weak. But an even worse humiliation was still to come. When we reached the shooting game area, I wanted to redeem myself. This gun is a little heavy. The recoil is pretty strong. Ms. Su, you need to hold it like this. I was about to guide her hands on, and maybe steal a little contact while I was at it, when Muqing picked up the replica rifle with one hand. She narrowed her eyes slightly. Her usual lazy air instantly turned sharp. She did not even need to aim. The zombies on screen dropped in waves like wheat before a scythe. Headshots, combos, reloads. Every move flowed seamlessly. She was insanely cool. She shattered the top score. The elementary school kids watching were stunned speechless. Lollipops fell from their mouths all over the floor. Wow, is that lady a special forces soldier? She is so cool. My brother was right. This woman must be the reincarnation of a Delta Force operative. Muqing set down the gun and turned to me. What should we play next? That ruthless intensity vanished in an instant. Her eyes sparkled with excitement, like a child begging for candy. That was a great stress reliever. I swallowed hard, trying to salvage a little masculine pride. How about the claw machines? Those are all about luck. I refused to believe she could cheat at this too. At the claw machine, I swore I would show off my skills. I rolled up my sleeves, completely focused. Muqing stood beside me, watching quietly. On the first try, the claw slipped. On the second, it grabbed one, then dropped it halfway over. 5 minutes later, I stared at the utterly empty prize chute, sweating buckets. Muqing did not laugh at me. Instead, she took a bottle of water from her bag. She unscrewed the cap and held it to my lips. Without thinking, I took a sip from her hand. Only then did I realize she had just drunk from that bottle. An indirect kiss. My face instantly caught fire. Muqing did not seem to think anything was strange. Let me try. She took hold of the joystick. Her gaze intent. The claw went down, then rose. There was no suspense at all. That Pink Panther plushie that had driven me crazy dropped securely into the chute. Then came a second, and a third. She looked like she was stocking up inventory, clearing out half the machine. Applause and shrieks erupted around us. Muqing bent down, and from the pile of prizes, picked up the largest Pink Panther. She turned around. Instead of putting it into a bag, she stepped forward, almost pressing into my arms. She tucked the Pink Panther into my arms. Because she was shorter, she rose slightly onto her toes, and naturally reached up to straighten the bangs I had messed up playing games. Her fingertips were cool. The instant they touched my forehead, I felt like my heart might stop. This is for you, little Lou. Bad luck is no big deal. It is okay. I have the skills. From now on, I will win them all for you. Her voice held a trace of tenderness she could not quite hide. That lady totally spoils him. That guy is red as a tomato. The girls around us squealed nonstop, holding the Pink Panther. I was red all over like a boiled shrimp. Had the script been completely flipped around, after we left the arcade, Muqing said she was hungry and took me straight to Shimao Tower. There was a revolving restaurant on the 66th floor. It cost for figures per person, and reservations had to be made a month in advance. She was clearly a VIP here. The elevator rose slowly, stopping briefly on the 28th floor. The doors opened, and of all people, we ran into my college class president, Fang Wenwen. Her boyfriend was nowhere beside her. Though she was dressed to the nines, she was plainly startled to see me. Then her gaze turned oddly knowing. Fang Wenwen adjusted her glasses, her tone edged with smug superiority. Heh, Lu Chen. What a coincidence. I heard you have been doing only so-so since graduation. What? Are you accompanying your boss to a business dinner? I frowned, about to respond, but Fang Wenwen twisted the knife. I just broke up with Li King, and the person I was supposed to meet tonight did not show. Since we ran into each other, how about tonight? Before she could finish, Muqing, who had been silent all along, suddenly moved. She stepped forward from behind me. With perfect ease, she reached out and linked her arm through mine. It was not a polite, token gesture. She pressed herself closely against me. That single gesture boldly declared her claim. She tilted her head slightly, her cool gaze sweeping over Fang Wenwen. Her voice was icy, yet carried unquestionable authority. Excuse me, miss, but Chen is busy tonight. He promised to go home and spend time with the children. After all, the two little ones are begging their dad for bedtime stories. Children, Lu Chen. You have children? Fang Wenwen's expression cracked, cycling through one spectacular emotion after another. Muqing nodded calmly. When she looked at me, the frost in her eyes instantly melted into warm tenderness. The Oscars owed her a golden statue for that performance. Yes, they are boy-girl twins, and they look just like him. They are adorable, especially their eyes. They are exactly like a Chen's. Do not keep the children waiting next time, I was dumbfounded too. All I could do was nod stiffly along. When the elevator doors opened, Muqing walked away with her arm linked through mine, leaving Fang Wenwen behind in utter disarray. Even after we sat at a window table, looking out at the sea of city lights, I was still completely numb. This woman could lie without even blinking. Ms. Su, was that performance just now a little over the top? Muqing elegantly cut her steak. I saved you from an unwanted admirer. Instead of thanking me, you are charging me interest? Muqing gave a soft laugh. I just feel those two non-existent children are a little innocent in all this. She pushed her sliced steak in front of me and traded it for my untouched one. The gesture was so natural, like we were a married couple who had lived together for years. My heart pounded wildly. To hide my awkwardness, I finally asked the question I had been holding back for ages. Ms. Su, the character in your profile picture is beautiful. Who wrote it? Muqing's hand paused. She put down her knife and fork. Her voice suddenly became quiet and gentle. It was written by the boy I secretly loved for many years. We were young men, and I did not know how to express myself. So she had been carrying someone in her heart all along. So she let him slip away. My heart instantly went cold. It was like a bucket of ice water had been dumped over me. The sweetness from before instantly turned bitter. So her heart had belonged to someone else all along. That character, Lu, had sharp, forceful strokes. Bold and free-spirited. It was clearly written by some weight. Why did it look more familiar the longer I stared? Back in high school, to look cool. I specifically practiced writing that character. My cursive signature seemed to look exactly like that. But I did not dare read too much into it. I only felt a suffocating heaviness in my chest. That unreachable first love was a thorn in her heart, and now it had become one in mine too. To stamp out this damned unrequited love, over the next few days, I decided to stay away from Muqing. What could an ordinary guy like me, with only my looks going for me, possibly use to compete with the man in her heart? But of course, the thing I feared happened. That weekend, I was buying snacks for my two little monsters at an upscale grocery store when I ran into Muqing around the corner. She was pushing a cart, apparently stocking up on household supplies. What a coincidence. For the kids, she glanced at the toy gun in my hand and the cheap potato chips. I nodded stiffly, just about to make my escape, when Muqing called after me. Stop. She pointed to the shelf above us. Get that from me. I cannot reach it. I looked up. It was a bottle of red wine on the top shelf, even in heels. She was just a little too short to reach it. Resigned, I walked over and reached up to take it down for her. We were so close that my chest nearly pressed against her back, effectively enclosing her in my arms. Muqing did not move away. Instead, she leaned back slightly. In that instant, my heartbeat was so loud, it nearly drowned out the store's background music. After putting the wine in her cart, I was ready to leave, but she reached back and clasped my wrist. She put a package of Australian M9 Wagyu beef into my sad little cart. You seemed to like this when we ate together last time. Eat more of it. I jumped in surprise and hurriedly tried to refuse. Ms. Sue, this is far too expensive. I have not even paid you back for that dinner yet. She ignored me, then grabbed 2 tubs of Haagen-Dazs and several boxes of imported cherries I normally would not even look at. She piled all of it into my cart. Muqing finally stopped. She folded her arms, raising an eyebrow as she looked at me. Her tone brooked no argument. They are for the kids. Can't you share in their good fortune too? Or would you rather I deliver them to your home myself than pay a visit? Then, on Chen and Wenwen's behalf, thank you, Miss Sue. A threat? That was a blatant threat. I caved instantly. As we passed the household goods aisle, Muqing suddenly stopped. She picked up a matching couple's toothbrush set. Do you think the blue one looks better, or this pink one? She asked, turning to me. Without thinking, I answered. Blue. It looks fresh and clean. Okay. Without hesitation, she tossed the blue and pink toothbrush set into her cart. I froze for a moment. An inexplicable thought rose in my mind. Who was she buying those for? That first love of hers? Jealousy surged through me again. At checkout, she paid with her card, including my entire pile of groceries. Young man, your wife is beautiful. And she is so good at taking care of a home. You are a lucky man. I was about to explain, but Muqing beat me to it. With a smile curling her lips, she replied, Ma'am, you have an excellent eye. Huh. Outside the store, the plaza bustled with people. I was just about to slip away. Wait. Muqing suddenly called out to me. She turned and ran to a nearby stall. A moment later, with a freshly made pink and blue cotton candy in hand, she came back. She rose onto her tiptoes and held the cotton candy out to me. Her beautiful eyes locked onto mine. Her voice unbearably soft. This is not for the kids. It is for you. Chen. Only you get one. That night, I held the cotton candy I still had not finished and tossed and turned in bed. Then Muqing called. Chen, did I scare you today? Her voice came through the phone, slightly husky in a captivating way, as if she had just stepped out of the shower. I was about to deny it, but she continued on her own. Her tone was more serious than I had ever heard, if I have not made myself clear enough. Then, Chen, I like you. Fireworks exploded in my mind. Before I could feel happy, I remembered something Muqing had said. It was written by the boy I secretly loved for years. I clenched my teeth. A nameless fury flared inside me, making my voice tremble. Muqing, I have just one question. That boy you secretly loved, the one you could never forget, you still love him? There were 3 seconds of silence on the other end. To me, those 3 seconds felt as long as a century. I have always loved him. My heart went completely cold. Then we are not right for each other. Fine. You are using me as a replacement, right? I hung up. Then I buried myself under the covers, feeling wrong like a 220-pound kid. At my high school reunion the next day, I spent the whole night drinking my sorrows away, until Muqing pushed open the door. "Husband, time to go home." Her words, "Husband, time to go home," sent the whole room into an uproar. She took my hand and led me out of the restaurant. The night breeze hit me, and the alcohol rushed to my head. I yanked my hand from hers. My eyes red, I shouted, "Muqing, who is your husband? Go find that man you cannot forget. Why come looking for me? I will not be anyone's replacement." Muqing backed me against the wall and laughed in exasperation. "Chen, you really are jealous." "Heh. How can you even be jealous of yourself?" She stepped closer, cupping my face in both hands. Her warm breath brushed against my lips. "The words on that profile picture were written by you in your freshman year. You wrote that love letter to earn 50 yuan for internet access, ghostwriting it for someone else. The fool I have loved secretly for 10 years is standing right in front of me." My mind shut down. Ghostwritten? That love letter? The floodgates of memory burst open. I remembered. That day, in an alley, I fought 3 punks alone to save a girl they had cornered. She had been wearing a hat, so I never saw her face clearly. I only remembered that she was pale and thin. Later, someone asked me to write them a love letter. I took the money and wrote a 3,000-character letter. At the bottom, I habitually signed it with a flamboyant cursive Lu. It was my signature trademark. So that girl was you? And the mysterious client who had me write that love letter, but never delivered it, was you too? You remember now. Too late. Chen, I have chased you for a full 10 years. This time, you are not getting away. The next second, she kissed me. It was not a fleeting kiss, but one filled with punishment and 10 years of pent-up longing. Instinctively, I wrapped my arms tightly around her waist and pressed her heart against me. I took control. On that bustling street, we kissed as if we could not bear to part, as though we were the only 2 people left in the world. Between desperate kisses, I mumbled, "Muqing, you are done for. You are not getting away from me for the rest of your life." Just as we were lost in that kiss, my brother's headlights came on. 2 little dumplings pressed themselves against the window. "Wow, Uncle is nibbling on Annie." The misunderstanding was finally cleared up. Muqing had known all along that the children were my brothers. She had only used them as an excuse to get close to me. And I truly did love children. Not long after we got married, I stared at the 2 red lines on the pregnancy test. Overcome with excitement, I picked Muqing up and spun her around 3 times. "I am going to have a baby. I am going to be a father." Muqing wrapped her arms around my neck, smiling like a cat that had caught the cream. "No need to envy your brother anymore. Chen, you are amazing." I buried my face in the hollow of her neck and said in a muffled voice, "That old love letter was ghostwritten. It does not count. I will spend my whole life writing you a new one." Muqing kissed my ear. Her voice was sweet as honey. "All right, Mr. Lu. This love letter will be rather long. It will take us a lifetime to write it.